Well, hello, Joe Antonio here again. I have another little job to do. So I have a nice, quick, easy job that's going to save you a bunch of money. Do you have one of these at home? Is it getting a bit old? Battery causing you problems? I'm going to show you a quick fix. 10 minutes work, cost you about $40, nice and simple. If you're interested to see how to fix this little baby, keep watching. Okay, so what's been a problem with this? It's about 5-6 years old now, gets used all the time, been charged 1,000 times. The battery is knackered. Alright, it'll charge up, it'll show it's 100%, you use it for 5 minutes, then it switches off. Okay, good sign the battery's gone. There can be other problems, but most likely, if you haven't dropped it in water, dropped it on the ground, most likely it's just the battery that's gone. They still charge, they still run for a little while, and then they just shut off, which is next to useless, okay? Very annoying. So you have two choices: replace the battery, go and buy a new one. Battery's $40, 10 minutes work. I can tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend the 10 minutes and I'm going to show you how to save the money as well. If you're interested, keep watching. I'm going to take this baby apart and show you how to replace the battery. Now, this particular model is Samsung T805 or a 10.5 inch tablet. The internals are pretty similar to I think the 800, the T800, T801, the T807, 05. They're probably identical inside. And you'll know once I open this up. So I'm going to bring you in nice and close. Stop looking at my ugly mug. Not much to see here. More interested in what goes on in here, okay? And how to get into it. So let's get started. Okay, let's get started. So if you have a look on the back of your tablet, you'll typically see the model number. Today I'm only talking about Samsungs. I know the Apple tablets, iPads, they're pretty much sealed. You have to take the glass off to get to them. This is a Samsung. A lot of these older models have removable back covers, which is excellent, so you can service them yourself. Anyway, the model number's on the back. That'll help you buy the battery. So let's crack this open. Now, the easiest way usually to open these is to find where the charge port is on these, and you can see there we've got the charge port and it's pretty worn out. You need a few tools, a few basic tools, some plastic tools. I have here just your pick and your whatever you call this thing. Anyway, some plastic tools and a pair of tweezers is always how I popped it. You want to just start driving your little picks in there. Okay, get your picks in there like that, and easier to turn it over. Once you've got your picks in, that's why it's good to have a couple of these picks. And work your way around and peeling at the same time. And they should just pop off. Once you start it going, I'm just working away around the edge. There we go. Okay, so you can see our battery. You can see our battery in there. The battery itself has got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws holding it in, but the ribbons, there's 2 ribbons that go across there, so we'll just have to quickly remove those ribbons just so we can get our battery in. So the model number of the battery is hidden under the ribbons. I use a pair of tweezers. There's just this protective tape. It's very standard. Just lever that off. Stick it back down. We're going to put that back on. It just protects the circuit. Okay. Now here's the ribbons here. There's usually little clips that hold the ribbons in. Worth noting, and I don't know if I'm zoomed in enough, but there's little lines. There's little lines that line up the ribbons to show they're in the correct position. You'll see it. See a line on the circuit board there, and a line on the circuit board there lines up with the ribbon there. So we just need to you need your little plastic tool. I'm just going to lift those lugs up. Get your little tool, just lift the lug. You'll see it locks down on the ribbon. Right, and so once that's up, just gently get the ribbon and slide it out like that. That's it. Your ribbon's free. You might have one of these stickers. Word of caution, you don't want to rip these ribbons. I'm sure you could buy them, but to be honest, that's really defeating the purpose if we're doing damage to this unit. And have to buy more parts. And again, this it's really sticky. Right. There's no technical reason other than giving you the model number of the unit. These ribbons doesn't really need that sticker to hold down. Anyway, alright, so we've got that out. We've got the stickers off. Now we just need to, what I didn't show you'll also need a little Phillips driver typically to get these screws out. They're not very tight. And I did get this little set. I already had this little set of tools when I bought a replacement screen from my Apple iPad that I replaced. So when I bought the replacement screen, they just gave me these little tools, which has been very handy. Now, you don't want to drop these. If you're like me, you'll need your goggles on to see the screw heads. They should all be the same length, but just keep an eye on them. If they are different lengths, you'll need to know where they came out of. But these are, in this particular model, they're all the same length. Alright, so we've got our 4 screws out. That should be yibbity yibbita, should be right to go. We just fold these back a bit, being very gentle. This one seems to fold back pretty easily. This one's a bit stiffer. We're just going to see if we can lift this battery up now. I've actually not done one of these before, but I've done lots of work on changing screens and what have you, so changing charge ports and things like that, so I'm thinking this should be pretty easy. And now we also have the port here for the battery itself. That should just pop out when we lift the battery. Got 2 little clips on either side. It's hard to see. I'll try and show them here. There's 2 little clips on either side. You're going to have to lift those up, and I'll try and zoom in to see this. But you don't want to hit the circuit board, but you need something sharp to get in there, and just lift that. Just lift the plastic. The white part's got to come up. There you go. So you got to just lift those white lugs. Just lift those little white lugs that are on the side there with something sharp and pointy, preferably plastic. I didn't have it, but I was really careful I didn't touch or damage the circuit board underneath. Right, now once we've got the battery free, just check how we're going for time. Okay, I'll just take this out. Right, so there's our old battery. This is the one I bought off eBay, $40 delivered. Look, now I tried to buy original Samsung battery. You don't want to copy if you can avoid it. In my mind, copies sometimes can be dodgy, and I think for all intents and purposes this is a standard Samsung OEM product. The model number is there, serial number, and the thing that's missing is the manufacture date. So, alright, you always run the risk that someone sells you a product that's not what it's supposed to be. If this is not an original Samsung product, it's a very good copy, so I'm going to go on face value from the seller. He had very good score on eBay, so I'm going to take the old one out, which is dated, you can see the date there, 2014. So this tablet is, it is 21, 22 now, so we're talking 8 years old. Okay, so 8-year-old battery, new one goes in. The sticker has become a bit of a pain. Slip the new one in, drop straight in. We'll drop our now 4 screws into the holes. One, two, three, 4. Alright, just make sure that's seated, and we will put these very small screws in. Don't be crazy with these things. These screws are, try not to do what I do and just flick your screws around. These screws are very small, and you don't want to strip them. It'll be hard to do. That's why it's good to use a little tool like this that clearly you can't over tighten it because the tool's not capable of it. These 4 screws go in. That's it. Alright, I'm going to connect the battery. Otherwise they're a bit stiff. And the weight, I'll show you something, and hopefully you can see this, because this This is probably going to be the most problematic part of it. This little battery connector's got slots. So basically it's a push down to get it in and pull up to get it out. So these are the little lugs on the side that lock it in, and these are open slit connectors, so you don't have to push it forward, it's straight down. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do here. Just push it straight down. Battery's connected. In actual fact, I'm going to pull that back out before I connect the ribbons, because okay, once you've screwed these down, what I suggest is you put the ribbons in. Now the ribbons, as I said, have got these white lines on them, and they line up with the circuit board to show they're all the way in. So make sure that your little clip, there's a little, I don't know if you can see it, there's a little trapdoor there. The little trapdoor swings up and down. So make sure it's up. And slide your ribbon in without damaging it. Might need to wiggle a little bit. Make sure it's straight and all the way in, and you'll see this will snap down, but you'll see the line. This one looks a little bit out, I know. You'll see the line lines up. Make sure your trapdoor's up. Slide your ribbon in. This sticker, honest to goodness, it's giving me the heebie-jeebies. I'm going to put a pick under it. You need the ribbon to slide. You can see this ribbon slided in nicely now. Put the trapdoor down. That's lined up. This ribbon here is slightly out on one side. I think it's still in, but I'm just going to cautiously just make sure and in fact it is all the way in, and straight, and push that down. Okay, so it should line up. There. Alright, stickers down. Now the last one is the battery connector. Battery connector, as I said, is just a push down. So those white little plastic clips on the side go down in there. That's it. We'll get your little stickers. Place them over the contacts. like that, and we'll realign the cover. And clip it back on. Make sure that's pressed on. Usually you can tell these little buttons pop up if they're in position. And piece of resistance. Does it start? Oh, here's a power button here. That's it. Took us 10 or 15 minutes, $40, cheap and cheerful. Replace the battery, should keep you going for a few more years. If you like what I do, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'll catch you next time.